Hey, what's up, you guys? Woody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of AMC's The Walking Dead. This week we're going to be talking about Season 6, Episode 5, which is entitled Now. And, we've had very different types of momentum with The Walking Dead lately. Because, back on Episode 3, we had the whole Glenn thing hit the fan, and, everyone just went crazy. And, then we kind of slowed it down with the Morgan backstory in Episode 4, which some people had a problem with, some people didn't. Me personally, I thought Episode 4, Here's Not Here, the whole Morgan Eastman thing, I thought it was a very well done episode. Though I do think the placement of it was a little bit off, given the Glenn cliffhanger at the end of the previous. But, they said they thought people needed a breather, like time to think about it. This wanted to make us wait. But I don't think it was a poorly done episode or anything. With Now, tonight, I thought it was a good episode. I liked it, but it was probably a bit slow for some people who are still, all about the Glenn cliffhanger. And we didn't really get any answers to Glenn this week, although we do, a big part of it is Maggie and Aaron heading out to look for him. Not really, it doesn't take up too much screen time, but we're starting to get some movement. So I'm assuming, it looks like next week's episode is going to be all about Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha. But it looks like episode 7, maybe we'll finally get an answer about it. I'm hoping they don't push it until the mid-season finale, because that's why I'm hoping that, whole No Way Out thing will happen. But I guess they could mix into that if they really wanted to, but I just hope they don't have to drag the whole Glenn thing out until that point. And I still think he might still be alive because, he's been spotted on set, pretty close to when they're filming the Season 6 finale. Also the fact that I wasn't in the memoriam on, Talking Dead. But I did a whole video talking about that, so you guys can go watch that one. But this episode did have some good things going for it, though. And I did enjoy it. I liked Aaron. I like how he stepped up this episode. I found him to be pretty likable since he was introduced back in Season 5. And it's a shame we haven't really seen his boyfriend fleshed out or anything like that. But I do find Aaron to be a pretty likable character. And I can relate to him a little bit, with, not that I've ever been in a zombie apocalypse situation or anything like that, but I can understand where he's coming from. The feeling of guilt, to everyone who was killed in the recent attack on Alexandria by the wolves, because he's the one who had left that, backpack that, with the pictures of the place behind, and that's what eventually led him to get the idea to try and, take over that place. So he kind of feels like he owes not just Maggie, but everyone, in some way or some form, so he's being more helpful than he probably would have been. He's trying to be more helpful than he probably would have been, but I also think Aaron, he seems like one of the better people that's alive on the show right now, so I feel like if he's still seen Maggie feeling like shit, like she is right now, I still think he'd probably step up to help her in any case. But also we had, I think her name's Denise, could be wrong, excuse me while I look it up, but the almost doctor who's taken over for Pete since he died. Let me see. Yep, that is Denise, I think. Wait. Yes, I was right. Alright. So Denise, she's just more and more stressed over, the duty she now has, all the pressure of it all and stuff like that, and she seems to struggle with, anxiety and things like that, too, so it's not making things any easier for her. Anxiety and, the pressure is really getting to her. And, Tara's been, kind of checking in on her, and, with I forget the guy's name, but the black guy who was shot in the leg, I think, back on, I forget what episode it was. It might have been episode 3, I think. But, she's just saying, oh yeah, he's going to die now. I don't really know what to do. And she's reading through all the books she can. But Tara supports her. And when she sees Jesse's moment a little bit later, I think that also helps to inspire her. But before we talk about what ended up resulting with Denise and Tara, let's talk about Jesse. And Jessie, I still like her. I like Alexander Breckenridge's performance as her. I'm kind of worried about her once the whole No Way Out storyline hits at the mid-season finale. But I do think she's developing pretty well right now. I mean, I really loved when she just snapped over everything that's been building up since Pete was abusing her, and how she just completely slaughtered that female wolf that was in her house. And with this, she's finally coming fully around to Rick's idea, his philosophy of what they need to do to survive. And so I really liked her development here. The one tad annoying part was her trying to get Sam, the Cookie Monster, to come downstairs. He's still scared and stuff like that, which is understandable. It's kid-like behavior. You'd probably see kids in real life do that too. But I don't know if they really need to show that or not. But yeah, Cookie Monster will come down for those cookies. But she brought them up to him anyway. But I did like her, and of course we seen her and Rick finally hooking up at the end of the episode. Some people were starting to wonder if they're actually going to pull the trigger on that, and they did. And I don't think this is going to be Rick's final long-term relationship on the show or anything like that. I still feel like I'd love it to be Michonne. But it's still good to see him get some form of personal pleasure after all he's been through. It's just good to see him find something like that. Give me a second while I let my cat out. But yeah, he deserves something like that, after all he's had to deal with, since losing Lori, very early on in season 3. So I do like this for him for now, although I don't want it to last for the rest of the series or anything. I definitely don't think it will, but it's good for him for now. He deserves it. Even though this will probably end up in having someone else that kind of cares about taking away, so that's not going to be good. But for now, good. Yeah, get it, Rick. Just forget I said that. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, also we had some Carl and Ron scenes in this episode. Ron's just an annoying character to me. I get that, under normal circumstances, you'd get him being pissed at the guy who killed his father, but his father was abusive. Jesse pointed out earlier how he pretty much broke Ron's arm at one point. So I don't really know why he's so, holding it so much against Rick for killing his father. I'd get it, but at the same time, he shouldn't be plotting to kill Rick, over it, Especially when he knows, the stuff that he did to his mother and things like that. You'd think he'd be a little bit more okay with him being gone, or at least not completely, hell-bent on revenge. But Carl wants to go out looking for Enid. Ron tries to stop him. And apparently Ron and Enid were actually a boyfriend-girlfriend, which I didn't really realize. I guess they did hug the one time, but, I didn't think that meant, intimacy between the two teens or anything like that. But apparently so. And we see Ron, he appears to come around a little bit when he asks Rick to help him, learn to shoot and stuff like that. But I feel like he's just setting Rick up to try and kill him. So we'll see how that goes around the mid-season finale, too. Of course, it's not going to work, but I think that's what he's going to try to pull off at some point soon. We also concentrate a lot on Deanna in this episode, and I don't really care too much, to be completely honest. I mean, now that the actress playing her does a bad job or anything like that, I just don't find the character that interesting. But her other son Spencer, he did make that speech to the others who are just trying to take as much food for themselves and their family as they can, about if they just let themselves do all that, this place is just going to be destroyed, and the whole message and point of it's going to be taken away if, people just end up taking things for themselves instead of uniting together and, caring about everyone, including themselves. But we find out that as he got drunk later on, he took some things for himself anyway, so yeah, I don't picture him or his mother lasting after the finale or anything like that, but it's okay for now, I guess. He blames his mother, because she made this like whole false idea that he's now realizing that they could be safe behind here without really knowing what to do in those types of circumstances that they've had to deal with, since the Rick and the rest of them have gotten here. And it is kind of her fault in a way for giving that false idea of what they can be in this world. But of course, it's his mother and stuff, so he should probably be a bit more polite about it at the very least. And Deanna herself does kill a walker later on. If you guys remember back in episode 3, Carol shot the one guy, but he kept on running, so he probably bled out and died. He was hiding under like a deck or something like that, I don't know. But he came at her as a walker, and Deanna just kept on stabbing him in the chest, letting out some rage of her own. But she wasn't aware that only like massive trauma to the head or just destroying the brain could kill a walker. But luckily Rick happens to come along, so there's that. And Rick reassures her that her idea of what she wanted for this place wasn't like a pie in the sky or anything like that. But And so back to Maggie and Aaron. They go under the sewers. Aaron shows her way to get under the walkers that are now surrounding the walls. So they're definitely setting up for that no way out situation. And with the Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha centric episode next week, I can see how they could push it for one more episode until it all goes down in the mid-season. It does bug me a little bit that there's kind of dragging some of these things out just a little, just so I can get to the mid-season. But it's okay. It's still good. I like it. It's not like bad to the point of being bad yet or anything like that. It's just a little bit irritating. But and Maggie finally breaks down as they're traveling through. They also kill some walkers. It looks like they've been stuck down there for quite a while. And Maggie breaks down. She finally admits she's actually pregnant. And, which a lot of us kind of suspected at this point. I was talking about it earlier in this season. I think a lot of people were talking about it before the season started. So if they end up finding Glenn, like, almost completely devoured like a walker or something, that's really going to be tragic. But like I said, I think he's still alive. So again, I like Aaron this episode. I like that he's kind of getting some concentration again. I'm hoping he makes it out of the no way out scenario, but I'm not entirely sure about his survival likelihood either. But if anyone's gonna survive from Alexandria, it might be him. But I don't know, we'll see. So I did like all that. Let's see. I did mention Rick and Jessie hooking up, and Rick's sort of starting to break down over Glenn still being out there, not coming back yet, and things like that. That scene hooked me too with Rick and Jessie before the whole embrace. So that's really my overall thoughts on the episode. I did like it, although I'm just eager to really get to when shit's gonna hit the fan by the mid-season. But still good. I'm definitely not gonna complain about it like I'm sure a lot of people are right now. So if there's anything I forgot to mention or you want to hear more of my specific thoughts on, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to discuss it with you guys. Add me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Movie Pilot, and look for me on spoileddead.com. And peace.